Hey guys, Deathscyp here from Y.C.G, your casual gamer. So in this episode we're going to cover a simple UMG animation. So when the player gets hit, the screen is going to flash red real quick and then it's going to go away. And we're going to use a custom event to fire it up. And don't worry if you haven't been following the videos for now. I'm going to show you in the first part how to do everything and how to call it to the screen. And then on the second part of the video, I'm going to show those that have been following my videos how to add it to the trap one that we created in our last episode, and also how to use it with the camera shake. And this is the result in the end. When you walk up to the spike trap, you get hit, the screen goes red, and it gets flash damage. The only thing missing now is going to be a sound, which we're going to add in the next episode. So stay tuned. Alright, so the first thing we have to do is a new user interface widget blueprint. But I already have one over here with almost nothing in it, so I'm just going to go inside. It's called the user interface. You can name it the same way if you want, it's your call. Let's go inside. Don't mind the progress bar over here, it's only for the people that has been following the videos for the second part of my video. Now in the canvas panel, you're going to add an image. So just drag the image inside like this, or you can just drag it inside like this. And we're going to stretch it to make sure that it covers the whole screen like this, and anchor it to the center of the screen. And also we're going to set up the default now. If you create an animation beforehand, when you're going to want to set up the default, so you see right now I can't see anything, so if I jump inside my scene I won't be able to see anything, and I want to correct that. So I'm going to put the alpha to 0. And since I know we're building a damage over here and I know it's going to be red, I'm going to put it right away to 0, 0 green, 0 blue, just to make it red. Now everything is, now I can see, so everything is fine. So now I'm going to set up my animation. So click plus on the animation over here and let's call it DMG taken. Compile and save. Now to add an animation, it's a little bit like matinee. It's you have your timeline over here that you can add a keyframe. You can control and scroll up or down to make it longer or shorter. You can choose how long the animation is going to be, and the only difference is when you're adding, also right click and hold to move. Now the thing is, when you're going to add a keyframe, it's only going to add the keyframe when you change a value. It's not going to be when you click enter. So if I click on the timeline, I click enter, nothing is going to happen. So now at 0, I still want this to be invisible. So there's two ways to add a keyframe. You can either go over here, get the image ID is going to be on the top left, on the top right, so over here, sorry. You click on the image and then you can choose the track you want to change, which is for us, it's going to be color and opacity. But you have all these tracks over here that you can play around with over time. So for us, it's going to be the color over and opacity. So at 0, it's still going to be red, but the opacity is going to be at 0, so you're not going to see anything. And since on my timeline, I need the animation to be really short, because when you get hit, it's instantly, and then it goes away. I'm going to hold Control and just scroll up to get smaller values, like this. Now from 0 to 0.20, that's about right for my animation to happen. So at 10, I'm going to add a keyframe over here. So I'm going to put this to 0.2, and when I click enter, it's going to change right away. If I wanted to, I'm going to delete this. I could add the keyframe by just clicking over here, add new keyframe, or on the top right over here in the values, I could have choose the values to change 0.2 and add the keyframe, and that would have worked too. And same thing over here, I can get to 0.20, and after 0.20 I want it to go back to 0. I can just put this to 0, press enter, and then add the keyframe. Don't forget to add the keyframe. Now be careful when you play with the animation. You can't control Z out to correct something. You're gonna have to delete it manually, because if you control Z, you're most likely gonna make your engine crash. Keep that in mind. So now let's see how it works. Play reverse. I like how it plays. And there you go. You're done with your animation. Now to get it inside our scene, the way I want to do it is going to be with a custom event. So I'm going to right click, add custom event, and let's call it take damage. And from there, now if you've been compiling and saving all the time, you're going to have your damage taken animation right here. You're going to control drag it inside the scene, and you can just drag out play animation, and there you go. Now you have your start time if you want to, numbers of loop, 0 being indefinitely. If you want it to play from forward, reverse, or ping pong, which is back and forward, and the play speed too. The play speed. So compile and save. Now let's bring it up to our scene. So I'm going to go back inside the scene, and I'm going to jump inside the main character. So what I already done over here is I created a user interface. So you can do all this over here. And I created a UI reference. The user interface being the widget that I went inside to create my animation. So now, from here, we can play the damage. But since it's going to happen so fast, we're not going to have the time to see it. So to make sure we can see it, let's put a delay first of 2 seconds. So after 2 seconds, I want my animation take damage to happen. Here we go, compile and save, and then it should be working. Play, 2 seconds goes, and there you go. The red happened inside the scene. So this is a basic animation, and you can see how easy it is to add it to your damage intake, or like we're going to do just now. So I'm going to delete this. So for the bulk of the video, how to make the animation, we are done. Now I'm going to add the camera shake that we created in the last episode, and also add it to our trap so that we have a proper damage intake. So inside the graph over here, if you go right away inside the trap that we built, which is right here, you're going to see that the camera shake, I had to copy it and bring it back inside each time each option I'm getting damage. But to make it easier, what I can do here is I can control C and go inside the user interface and control V and just add it to the damage intake. That way every time I call the damage intake, all of this is going to happen. I can even add a sound, which we're going to do in the next episode, to make everything according to the damage is going to happen just when calling that little function, and it's going to save you a ton of time. If you're not sure what the camera shake is, and if you know how to make it, here's are the details about it. If not, I suggest you go check the video on it. Same thing for the trap and the basic life system that I did. Now inside the trap, we can delete this since we're calling it in the damage, and from the my character we're going to get the UI reference, get UI reference, and just take damage like this, and there you go. This is going to work when you die and also when you live. Let's control C over here, control C, control V, and just take damage just to keep it clean, and everything should be working now. Connect everything up. So now when you take damage, if I press play, so when I walk up to the trap now, it's going to become red and I take damage and everything converges together. The only thing missing is the sound, which we're going to do in the next episode. Hope you enjoyed this. Next episode we're working on sound cues, so just to add the damage sound, and also I'm going to show you how to work with cues in Unreal Engine 4, which is a nice editor for sound. So see you next time. Have a good night.